His family and friends said their last goodbyes today to Ernie Wise. Amongst those at his funeral in Berkshire were Eric Morecambe's widow Joan and Michael Grade, who said Morecambe and Wise would be remembered as long as people wanted to laugh. ITN's Nicholas Owen was there too.
The final farewell to the comic genius of Morecambe and Wise with Ernie Wise's funeral today. Among the mourners, Angela Rippon, who once swapped newscasting for dancing on the Morecambe and Wise show, entertainer Rolf Harris, and the actress Wendy Craig. The service was at Slough Crematorium, not far from Ernie's home. After it, Doreen Wise took the couple's beloved Scotty dog Molly when she looked at the flowers. With them, Eric Morecambe's widow, Joan.
Well, it is a little bit like sort of bread and butter, isn't it? And salt and pepper. You can't imagine one without the other, really. They both went together. I don't think there will ever be another double act like them ever again.
Bring me fun, bring me sunshine, bring me love.
There may not have been sunshine, but there was love, laughter and sadness today at the passing of Ernie Wise. Nicholas Owen, ITN, Slough.
The main news again. NATO tonight rejected an offer by President Milosevic of Yugoslavia to withdraw some of his troops from Kosovo and allow refugees home if NATO would first stop its bombing. More raids are underway for the 7th night in a row, and some refugees were today refused entry to Macedonia. Now let's take a look at tomorrow's newspapers. The Times calls the Serb peace offer a chess move. It shows a picture of President Milosevic shaking hands with Yevgeny Primakov, but says the talks gave no basis for a political solution. The Independent prints its front page on its side. The caption, next to a picture of refugees, says, "This is the reality of war. 2 mothers, 5 children, 7 days of bombing, 250,000 refugees, and no hope." Allies reject Milosevic offer, says The Telegraph, on the story of America, Germany and Britain dismissing the result of today's talks as not going far enough. Also on the Telegraph's front page, a new survey which claims that 2/3 of British firms would say no to the euro. The Mirror calls President Milosevic the Pol Pot of the West, saying his savagery in Kosovo matches that of the killing fields in Cambodia. And The Sun has its own way of reporting today's talks with Milosevic. It says the Prime Minister rejects the Serb peace call. And that's tonight's ITV Nightly News. We're back tomorrow at 11. The ITV Evening News with Trevor McDonald is at 6:30. From all of us here, good night.
Good evening. Keep your fingers crossed for the Easter weekend, but over the next couple of days certainly it's going to get warmer in most places. But tonight it's going to be quite chilly in the north. That's because we've got clearing skies, but further south a lot of cloud and some patchy drizzly rain around, especially towards that English Channel coast. Here under that blanket of cloud, certainly staying quite mild, no lower than 7 or 8 Celsius in some places, but further north under those clear skies, well, as low as 2 or 3 across parts of Scotland and Northern Ireland. That's low enough for a touch of ground frost. Now tomorrow, the sunniest skies probably in the north of Scotland, but elsewhere a good deal of cloud and still very murky in the south. We'll see some more persistent and heavy rain pushing up through the Irish Sea across the province, and later on that rain will be reaching western parts of Scotland, but elsewhere staying mostly dry, and it should start to brighten up in the south, especially some sunny glimpses. Now where that does happen, it's going to turn quite warm, in fact as high as 15 or 16 Celsius, and that's a taste of things to come. But certainly near that east coast a good deal cooler, perhaps no higher than 10 to 12 for eastern Scotland and some eastern parts of England. That's it from me as a summary.
Power Gen. Power, whatever the weather.
Kwikfit's mega price drive ends Easter Monday. Kwikfit's driving down prices on over 1 million tyres and exhausts. So drive down to Kwikfit before it's too late.
double protection. Doesn't just keep you dry, it keeps you feeling fresh from the shower all day.
Even if you change everything else from 1 minute to the next, there's now a lens that changes with you. The new generation of variable tint lenses from Transitions.
Transitions, right in any light.
Oh, hello. Come for a spin with me and discover how will you eat yours. 1.
If you're watching in black and white, eat the yellow bit first.
2. Find the star and lick it off. 3. Eat it with the light off. I've seen the future.
And it's egg-shaped!
How will you eat yours?
From the huge to the hugely important. For over 150 years, we've helped to build the Jewson lot.
Most things are designed to do only one job. The Canon Page Station, however, uses digital technology so it can copy, print, fax and scan. And because it works as part of the Office network, you can now solve all your imaging problems in one.
Liz, that proposal.
The one your career's riding on.
It went out?
It was picked up at 5:35 and on the plane at 9:30.
Good.
With UPS, you can not only check the progress of your package every step of the way.
Liz?
It arrived at 9:07 this morning.
You even know who signed for it.
And it was signed for by John Housley.
John Housley? Himself? So what did he think?
UPS online tracking. Consider it done.
We want you to reform the Venus Hunters.
I hate them all, and I don't know where any of them are.
Starring Martin Clunes.
Starburst by the Venus Hunters.
The band that time forgot.
All the bands here. Apart from Charlie.
Repackaged for the 90s.
Got bosoms.
Neil Morrissey, as you've never seen her before.
Let's do it.
Hunting Venus, Wednesday at 9, uninterrupted at 10 on ITV.
A roundup now of all the latest news headlines from across our region.
Good evening and welcome to the late news bulletin from Granada. First tonight, the world's richest soccer club, Manchester United, have warned fans that ticket prices will have to rise next season. Rising wage demands by players and the need to cover signings worth almost 30 million this season have been given as reasons for the increase in ticket costs. But the move's been strongly criticised by fans. Rachel Harrison reports.
It's signings like this that Manchester United claims is the reason it's having to put ticket prices up. Last year, the club spent £28 million on buying players like Jaap Stam and Dwight York. The above-average price hike will mean fans will be paying an extra £2 per match.
Well, I think that's just a pure smokescreen. I think there's more to it. I mean, players like Jaap Stam, Dwight York are an investment in the future of Manchester United. They're bringing you success. We're having huge success in Europe this season. We've got a damn good chance to get into the final of the European Cup. Virtually guaranteed qualification into an extended European Cup next season, which, you know, will bring more cash flowing into Manchester United.
The club, which has unveiled its half-yearly financial results in London this morning, says it's seen its profits drop from £15.4 to £11.1 million. And it points out that in the league table of Premiership club ticket prices, United was in the bottom 5.
3 police officers were treated in hospital tonight after being knocked down by a driver of an allegedly stolen car. The Greater Manchester officers were struck by a Honda Civic reversing at high speed down a road in Bury. The car was later abandoned and a man arrested. The officers were released from hospital. A family from Lancashire have escaped serious injury after an iron bar speared through their windscreen. Mark Frimston, his wife Estelle and their 7-year-old son Jack from St Anne's were in the fast lane of the M61 near Little Hulton in Salford when the bar was thrown from the bridge. A 12-year-old boy has been arrested in connection with the incident and bailed until May. Eco-warriors are claiming a victory over Manchester Airport in the battle over its controversial second runway. It's the bird nesting season, and the environmental activists camping around the second runway site have pointed out that by law it's illegal to chop down a tree where a bird is nesting. Bernard Smith reports.
9 months after they first struck camp, and the eco-warriors who've set up home on the edge of Manchester Airport's runway 2 have scored another victory in their attempt to preserve the woodland that surrounds the building site. As spring approaches, birds begin nesting, and according to the 1981 Wildlife and Countryside Act, nothing can be done to disrupt that process. That includes cutting down trees.
Nesting season's coming in on the 31st, which by law they're not allowed to evict after that because they're not allowed to disturb the birds that are in nest. They've got to wait until they're finished.
Despite attempts to break up the protesters, it's alleged that Greater Manchester Police planted a spy amongst them. They're staying put. And with the Easter holidays upon us, more eco-warriors are expected to join the campaigners and their environmentally friendly protest.
When, and it probably is when rather than if Manchester Airport gets its way, much of the woodland we've seen will be turned into what's behind me. Now, Manchester Airport says that despite the protesters, their plans for runway 2 are on schedule. But with 3 camps now situated across the perimeter of the new runway, life for the contractors isn't easy.
And finally, a Manchester City fan has been celebrating today after scooping the National Lottery jackpot. 70-year-old Ken Norman, a grandfather from Manchester, won almost £4 million after picking all 6 numbers in last Saturday's draw. Elaine Wilcox went to meet him as he collected that precious cheque.
A City fan since 1934, where else could Ken Norman celebrate his jackpot win but Main Road? The retired security guard who lives in a 1-bedroom flat in Fallowfield plans to move to Cheshire and share his win with his family.
It means we can secure their futures. That's all. That's the biggest thing, isn't it?
Yeah.
For the kiddies and my eldest daughter anyway. She wants to finish work and she can do.
The couple, whose youngest daughter died of cancer a year ago, said the money will be used to fulfil a promise.
We're still coming to terms with it, but I always said I wouldn't leave the children and I would look after them, and I've done it. So I'm very pleased with that I've been able to keep a promise.
City's manager Joe Royal was among the first to congratulate the couple, but Ken has already ruled out buying any new players and says he's still deciding whether to splash out on a season ticket.
And that's the news this Tuesday evening. We're back in GMTV bright and early tomorrow morning at 6:10. But until then, from me and all of the late team here at the News Centre in Manchester, take care. Good night.
Granada Television's weather, sponsored by Stay Bright Windows and Conservatories. The clear choice in any weather.
It looks as though spring is on the way, at least for a while. Over the next day or two, we're looking to the south for some warm air to come at us from the Mediterranean. Tonight it'll be clear at first, but gradually during the night we're going to see some cloud thickening up from the south. That'll produce 1 or 2 outbreaks of just light rain and drizzle, mainly in the west of the region. Lowest temperatures will probably occur over North Lancashire and South Cumbria at around 4 degrees Celsius. Now tomorrow it starts off a bit grey and misty, again 1 or 2 spits and spots of rain around, but things will improve as that thicker cloud moves away northwards to allow 1 or 2 sunny breaks to develop. Top temperatures, well, over North Wales and Cheshire it could make 15 or 16 degrees Celsius, which is really quite pleasant for the time of the year in a light to moderate southeasterly wind. On Thursday it's more of the same, sunshine and warm.
For a more detailed 5-day outlook, call Weather Update on 0891 55 99 77.
The most controversial face in magic is here.
Who is he?
With brand new and exciting illusions and the secrets behind them.
This was not a trick.
Watch and learn. Breaking the Magician's Code, magic's biggest secrets finally revealed. New to ITV, Saturday at 6:20.
had always hoped to see this in my lifetime. I have been wondering about the mysteries of the universe since I was a child. Yet, looking at the beauty of these things still fills me with wonder. For me, physics is about seeing further, better, and deeper. And from here, I can see forever. My eyesight means a lot to me.
Whoever thought of putting a phone in a box? Hats off to them. A phone you only pay for when you want to talk. A payphone. No contracts, no bills. Simple. A payphone in a box. Such a great idea. Somebody's done it again.
Pay as you talk. The mobile phone in a box. No contracts, no bills. Just time-limited top-up cards for network access and calls. So to pay as you talk, the word is Vodaphone.
Where's the way out?